We have once again been blessed with a double Record of Ragnarok chapter, corresponding to chapter 62 and 63. Today I'm going over the leaks regarding those chapters, but in short, 62 is centered around the fight itself, with Hades gaining the lead perhaps with a new ability that I'll explain shortly, and 63 is finally the backstory for Hades, something we've been waiting for quite a while. Also including some reveals about Adamas, what happened in his situation, and a few other things regarding the Chad Zeus, but I'll get into that shortly as well. If you haven't already and enjoy Record of Ragnarok content, make sure to hit that subscribe button as that's what I provide on this channel. Also leave a like, it's greatly appreciated. Now, let's begin. To me, it seems like the blood of Hades was able to evolve his weapon in some regard. In chapter 61, it ended with him cutting himself and blood going everywhere. This seems to initiate a awakening within his weapon, with it evolving. Apart from that, we see Hades finally fully countering Huang's air projectile thing that he's been having trouble with for the majority, being able to overcome that and land a direct shot piercing through Huang's defenses as well, and it seems like he pretty much destroys one of Huang's arms, I guess evening each other out when it comes to how much injuries they're sustained. One thing we don't really get touched upon in the leaks is whether or not Hades cutting himself last chapter also affected Huang due to his eye downside. That wasn't really shown in the leaks, we'll have to wait till the full chapters come out to get an understanding like that, but it seems like it didn't really have an effect. Not sure why, but again we have to wait till the full chapter. Apart from that, we actually see Beelzebub working on Adamas, with it being confirmed that Hades ordered Hermes after the whole Poseidon and Adamas situation to take Adamas to Beelzebub to pretty much keep him alive or save his life, and that's where we got the current Adamas, the cyborg form, due to Beelzebub. Now going over the backstory of Hades. We got a rough translation from this dude on the Record of Ragnarok subreddit. I'm not sure if this is very accurate, so take it with a grain of salt. There are a few panels we got for this, but this is pretty much the best we have so far. With it seeming like the backstory is told from the perspective of Ares, but I could be wrong about that. Apparently, Ares states that when it comes to overall power, Hades is very strong, but he's more so the most trusted god above everything else. That's something I was kind of waiting for. It's most likely the case when it comes to the Greek god, which is kind of touched upon or implied with this flashback, that Zeus is just the giga powerhouse muscle guy, while Hades is that, chill, tactical, most trusted god, as Ares states here. But this flashback directly connects to the flashback we got for Zeus, where Zeus had the big battle with his father Kronos in the battle known as Titan Mammoth, with Zeus of course winning that fight and becoming the supreme god or the leader of the Greek gods. Apparently we'll get to see Gaia, the primordial god, which is pretty interesting. At least according to this rough translation. It may be fake of course, so grain of salt. But apparently while Zeus was fighting his father, this is what Hades did. He took down pretty much an army of giants by himself. Again, most trusted god, and that the Greek gods are having this big meeting, including Adamas, who wasn't killed at this point. Had a big meeting about having troubles in this long battle and that they needed someone to deal with the Titans. While they were surrounded by the Titans, Hades went to the underworld and pretty much defeated all of them alone, and that's how he got a title, I guess, as the most trusted god. With us getting this pretty badass panel of all the Greek gods here, with of course showing us a younger Zeus in the flashback here, standing over Kronos, and in this panel here. But another thing that was shown in the flashback, which is kind of weird, is another side of Poseidon. This is the panel we got with him pretty much reaching out to Hades. As I pretty much expected, out of all the other Greek gods, Poseidon was the closest to Hades, and I guess revealed another side of himself to Hades and potentially Hades alone, which is something I guess good for his character, as he was kinda stale, if I'm being honest, without all of this. So that's going to be cool to see more about potentially. But we also cut back to the present in chapter 63 apparently, where we have Adamas arriving to the other Greek gods, Ares, Hermes, Zeus, etc., who are watching a fight, with it seeming like Ares was the only one shocked or who wasn't aware that Adamas was still alive, or that his life was saved by Beelzebub and Hades and everything like that, as Zeus doesn't seem surprised. Of course Hermes is already aware, so yeah, he's going to be part of the group for a little bit now to talk alongside them for the future battles. Maybe it's a possibility that Adamas will be fighting for the gods, which of course I personally don't want. We don't really need more Greek gods on the roster, that'll be just too much. But again, I'm thinking this fight is going to be a draw, so we don't know what could potentially happen regarding who's going to fight for the gods if they are needed, but he's a potential option. And I guess it'd be cool to see like a cyborg-like god fight, but again, he's pretty much a jobber as he was one-shot by Poseidon. But yeah, what can we do about that? He may end up fighting. If I had to place my bets, I think the fight is going to end in chapter 64. Both of them are quite injured. We finally got the flashbacks for both characters now. So just a long, crazy chapter of them both throwing hands, and as I've been saying, ending with them pretty much killing one another and the crazy draw. That could be something very hype, and maybe also getting the reveal of the next fight, as I've seen a lot of people in my comments and this on Discord, etc., complaining about this fight, how it's been too long. Even though it's pretty much been the same length of the other fights, it just hasn't seemed that way based on the amount of flashbacks we got for Hu Wang and how much non-variety we've gotten regarding the fight, as it's been Hades, Giga Power, and then Hu Wang with his like martial arts and hacks-like abilities. So next chapter, maybe something else to be revealed, but it seems like in chapter 62, we had Hades evolving his weapon. Maybe we'll get an interesting statement regarding how powerful this weapon is compared to other powerhouse weapons like Thor's hammer and the like fusion weapon Buddha pulled out when he had the whole fusion with Zero and everything like that. So something to think about. The full Raw should come out in like 2 or 3 days, and then the translations I have no idea about. The better group or best group have been releasing their translations like 15 to 20 days after the Raws come out, so it may take a while for that. But another group translated the 2 chapters last month within like a week, but those translations weren't the best when comparing to the better ones that came out more recently. So I guess read both, but yeah, I have no idea. They'll be in the Discord as always whenever they come out, including all the leaks I talked about in today's video. Check out the other stuff in the description as well, like the Twitter, Instagram, other cool things. And of course, shout out to the Mad Lads who support the channel via the Patreon. But yep, that's it guys. Peace.